So over here I've got a budget-friendly inverter. It is a modified sine wave inverter. Here we got the details. So it is rated at 1200 VA or 720 watts. So 12 volt supply, and then on the DC side for charging your 10 or 20 amps. And this is a 50 hertz inverter. And this is here because a co-worker brought the whole thing in with a battery. It's one of those that comes with a trolley, and in this case a lead acid battery, 100 ampere hour battery, is located in a tote on wheels underneath, and this is screwed to the top. And she said it doesn't turn on. So I opened it up, turned it on, and I noticed that the wires that supply the 12 volts briefly jumped. They moved before it turned off. So clearly a lot of current flowed, and I tried capturing it with a tong test. I measured about 200 amps. So there's a short circuit. What I then did is I went to the output side, and I started there, and I had a look for shorts on the FETs on the output, and I did indeed find some shorted devices. I've taken them all out. They're lying over here. So two of them are shorted. You've got IRF 740s, and then that's a dual diode over there. So what I then did is I had a look over here for shorts on the gate drive circuits, and on the devices that I removed, which have gone short circuit, the gate drive circuits have gone short circuit. So now here's the problem. This is $100 inverter. It's a very budget friendly inverter. We're already an hour into diagnosing this and removing components so that second level diagnosis can take place to find out what's wrong besides the power devices. So we've already spent $50 on diagnosis. So therefore we've already got $50 worth of parts to replace lying over here. Now we know that further investigation needs to take place into the gate drive circuits and stuff over here. I've never worked on one of these before. I have no idea how long that could take, but I know it will take long. Then you got the source components to fix that. Then you carry on with that, and hopefully when you start replacing components it works. Then you get it to work. Is it going to be reliable after that? We have no idea. Now these are sold in their thousands. I've had one, people I know have had them. They are generally extremely reliable. Why this one failed, I have no idea. All we know is the output devices went short circuits. So the way this works is, this is your DC to DC converter over here, which converts 12 volts to 300 volts. And this is your H bridge on the output, which converts it to your mains out, AC out, in this case stepped. It's not a pure sine wave inverter, hence there not being any output filtering. There's your relay, which changes over from a line supply when there's line available, the main supply, to inverter output supply. So it's an online UPS. The reason there being two transformers is because you've also got the battery charger in here, which looks after the charging of the battery. So you got that in here as well. So this is two sections. You got your battery charger as well as your 300 volt supply for the output. And then over there, that is the control board. And then your cooling fan, which used to live over there, is over there. And then it's got fairly basic controls. There's a display. I might pull that out to see if it's something I could repurpose. The idea is actually to harvest some components from this, because it's got nice heat sinks and there might be a few other things I can harvest for projects. So I'm not going to discard this straight away. And there's your, that is latching button, turning it on and off. Now somewhere in here is a buzzer, and I'm going to show you what is happening at this stage, and I'm also going to warn you that it's going to get loud, because it is going to report an error. And what this thing does when it's reporting an error is it turns the buzzer on and it yells at you, and it doesn't stop, and it is loud. So what we're going to do, power up the 12 volts. Okay, we got 12 volts. And now I'm going to push the button, so mind your ears. And there's error code 4. Turn it off. That is loud. So it is obviously seeing that the output is not coming to life as expected. And what it does then is it also shuts down this side, the 300 volt supply. Because I did have a look to see if the 300 volts is coming here in that error state, and the answer is no, it turns it off. And what it was previously doing is it was attempting to start up the 300 volts into a short circuit, which then results in a massive current draw on the 12 volt supply, and then it shuts down. So this thing, is it worth fixing? Absolutely not. This is a budget inverter, and short of servicing it when something simple has gone wrong, like fan has failed or the power switch has failed over here, or maybe a loose connector, they're not serviceable because of the cost. It costs more to repair this than it does to replace it. Now, as I just mentioned, we're already $100 of time and parts into a thing which costs $100 new. So when something has seriously gone wrong with it, it's time for a new one. But generally you don't see them failed. This in this country is also available from Mesa. It gets branded it's brand manufactured. I don't know who the manufacturer is, but you can order this with your name on it and sell it as your product. In this case, Lalela, they do a lot of standby solutions locally. This is also available with a lithium-ion battery pack, and I want to touch on that because lead-acid batteries are rated for about 150 cycles, and then you have to replace it, whereas you can conservatively get 10 times that out of a lithium-ion. This, to buy it new with its battery, is, in this country, I'm going to speak rands so I don't have to do the maths, but it's 6,000 rand. You divide that by 16, you'll get $2. If you buy the lithium-ion version of that, the price doubles. It only doubles, not more than that, so it's about 13,000 rand. So you're talking about $700 around there. No, I talk nonsense. it is about 200. No, hang on, let me get a calculator. Let's get this right. Let's get a calculator. So, let me show you what I'm doing. I'm going to take, that's what I read online, divided by 16. So, yeah, $800 for the lithium-ion version, whereas the, well, divided by 2, $400 for the lead-acid version. Now, the lithium-ion version is going to conservatively give you 10 years out of the battery, which means that your cost of ownership, even though the capital cost was more, is about 20% of using lead acid. When you compare lithium ion to lead acid, the cost of ownership with lithium ion batteries is significantly lower than it is with lead acid. It's basically become a easy choice when it comes to what sort of battery you should use for standby power. If you can afford the capital cost of a lithium ion battery, that's what you should be buying, because it's basically buy once. You've really got to use those a lot to wear them out. Whereas with a lead acid battery, there's not only the problem of your limited number of cycles, but they've also got a limited shelf life. And so even if you don't get to the number of cycles, they age despite not being used, which is also a lot less of a problem with the lithium ion technology. So that's a story about batteries and why do you look at using lithium ion and whatever flavor, be it the lithium ion or lithium Fe or iron. The irony in it. So there we have it. That's the story with this. We're going to wrap it up for this video. I've shown you what's going on inside here and why we are not going to be fixing it. I'll set this aside to be disassembled a little further for some useful parts. There's some nice heat sinks in it, and there's some other electrical components that I'm going to keep before sending the remainder for recycling. I don't have the battery. The owner kept the battery, and she just purchased a replacement one of these and had the supplier fit that to the battery because the battery was staggered. So that's the story with this. So ladies and gentlemen, hope you found this an useful and educational video. And for the rest, take care, have an awesome day further, and I shall see you next time for more awesome videos. Alrighty, bye.